Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monique's Nail Station. So, we're on the acrylic nail training course and we are on module 8. So, today we're going to talk about fills. Why is it important that we have to fill the nails? All right, so I've done a presentation for you guys as well. And if you are enjoying this content, hit that subscription button, like and subscribe, and I will send you new content every week. All right, so without further ado, we're going to start with fills. So that's rebalancing of the nail and aftercare. So this is the acrylic system, module 7. And well done if you've got this far. Okay, so let's have a look at our second slide. All right, let me just do this. So this is out of the way. Hold on 1 second. Wait a moment. Okay, no, not that. All right, we still haven't got this right. But anyway, fill and rebalance. The purpose of a rebalance, fill or back fills, to reconstruct the enhancement for strength, flexibility, and beauty. So when the natural nail grows out, there is a bit of a regrowth and one needs to fill that regrowth. Okay, so the purpose of a rebalance is the natural nail grows out and you've got a gap from the proximal fold area that grows out and the amount of product that's left on the nail. So if you look at the amount that's on the free edge and the amount that's actually on the nail bed, you can see whether the product is unbalanced or balanced. So it's important to keep your product balanced because you don't want the client to injure themselves or knock it off or bang into something, and you're going to have lifting at the cuticle. That's why your maintenance is so important, to make sure that you don't have any of those problems. So always look at the amount of product that's on the nail plate to the amount that is on the free edge. If you've got more on the free edge than you have on the nail plate, you know then obviously the nail is quite weak. So always rebalance, and of course we've got to put in our apex as well to make it stronger. All right, a review of the original service and a bi-weekly maintenance schedule will ensure longevity of service and prevent problems before they happen. If problems of any kind appear, it is a rebalance appointment that a reanalyze of the service should be done. Take time to reassess the nail, factoring in areas where the enhancement has been challenged. So often when you find a client has been too long without a maintenance, the stress areas may start cracking, which causes a flaw in the foundation of the nail. So you would need to then fix that the minute that happens as well. So very, very important to do that. All right, so the procedure. Do you like my little needle thing? The procedure, nail preparation is normal. You'd obviously remove all the gel color with an e-file, or if you don't like using an e-file manually, but be careful when doing it manually because you don't want to file on the natural nail or create ridges. You'll sometimes see, like a tree where you've got like those rings, and that's from every single time you have done a refill or a balance. You've actually filed into the natural nail where it's lifted and it's created a ring, which is, it is actually damaging that natural nail. So you don't want to buff on that natural nail too much. Every time you buff onto that natural nail, you're taking 3 layers off or more, and each time the client comes back, it's going to be more and more and more and more. So make sure that when you do a rebalance, you're only buffing on top of the product that is there and level it out. If you do find that you have a bit of lifting, then level out their entire product so that you make it thinner, and then it's easier for the lifting bit to come out. So after 2 to 3 weeks, The nail grows out and can be seen at the cuticle area, which is your proximal fold area. The nail shape may also change due to wear and tear. So from typing or whatever the case may be, the shape can change. So you would have to then reshape that change and reshape that nail, take the nail shorter. Remember that when you are filing down a nail, you're filing into the apex area, which is going to be thicker down the barrel. So you need to taper around the free edge so that it's not so thick. All right. You will then have to look for cracks and see if you need to fix any of those. If you do have stress area cracks, I recommend to use your fiber. You get the fiber that's in, let me just show you. Let's just make me bigger. Wait, bigger. Okay. So this is a piece of fiber, and you can, or silk, and you can just literally take a piece of fiber and attach it to the nail where the crack is, cut it, and then apply some resin on top, and then you can apply your acrylic afterwards. So that is important to remember to do. All right. You can see also when a client's nail curls underneath and is curling away from the product, acrylics tend to become quite porous, and I think it's our hands are in chemicals. The longer the acrylic is worn, the more porous it becomes, the harder it becomes, because it becomes more porous. So it doesn't flex with the natural nail at all. So it could be more lifting in that case. So I would suggest that if you are wearing acrylic nails, to soak off and redo after, I would say, 3 months or so that you apply fresh product, or sort of buffing down as much as you can each time so that you are applying new product all the time. The other way of keeping an acrylic more flexible is obviously using a gel top coat, which will add a bit of flexibility to that nail. If you do have curling away, you can put a little bit of resin or glue and then hold with a tweezer to hold it in place. But when that starts happening, you know that the client needs to put more oils and moisture into their natural nail, because the natural nail is dehydrated and is now curling away from the product. So you would have to then advise your client to use oils so that her nails don't curl away. And you can also gauge how porous the product has become with the amount of curling. You would then have to shorten, refine the original shape and form, and refine the side walls and your lower arch. What we mean by the lower arch is that once it grows out, that little apex moves with the growth of the nail. So you have to reapply that apex where it has grown out. All right, let's see our next one. If lifting has occurred on the free edge, okay, so you've got lifting on the free edge. All right, you need to bevel that down to the tip until it comes off, until it's removed. Remember that if you've got a client and she's come back, and this is the time that you need to really assess how they've worn their nails. And if you find that the free edge has been chipped, remember that when you reapply, to actually apply more primer to the free edge to prevent that from happening further on. Okay, then you're going to refine zone 1. So zone 1, remember, when we're taking the length down, zone 1 is the free edge. It's going to be thicker because we're filing into the apex area. And if you look down the barrel, it's going to be too thick. So we need to bevel our C-curve, our barrel evenly all the way around. We must make sure our side walls are straight, and we must make sure that we have no lifting product. Any lifting product needs to be blended away without blending grooves into the natural nail. That's why sometimes I find an E-file with a barrel bit and a sort of a 220 grit works really well to get rid of any lifting bits around the cuticle area. And make sure that when you're filing close to the cuticle that you don't nick the client. If she starts bleeding, be careful. Diabetic patients can bleed more than normal patients, so be very, very careful when buffing around the cuticle area, so that you don't buff into the cuticle and create any wounds. Also, if she starts bleeding, you can use a powder. Let me just get the name for you. It is, you can get it at a chemist, and it is septic powder alum, alum, and septic is STYPTIC powder. So if you do nick a client, you can just put a bit of that powder in. It will stop the bleeding straight away. Otherwise, you'd have to use your alcohol, which is quite, could burn and is not very, very pleasant. All right, so the next thing that is very, very important is that you need to explain to your clients how to take care of their nails. Remember, education is king. So every day and people don't believe this, but if you do apply oil into your cuticles and into your nail, you're making that product more pliable, and it prolongs the life of the product because it becomes less porous over time. So you could wear that product longer. So always sell up some oils, cuticle oils and hand creams, and they should be doing that at least twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. Remember to tell your clients that their nails are jewels and not tools. Don't use them to pick up, scratch, or lift rings, put from the tin can. So in other words, if you've got it with long nails, you've got to use your hands completely different. So when you're opening a door, you would use the level of your hand like that, and you would pull it open. You'd never scratch scratch with your nails. You would always use the balls of your finger. Always use the balls of your finger, and rather, if you can't open a can of Coke with a little lever, rather just take a teaspoon or a knife or anything to lift it up, or ask someone else to do it for you. All right. If you're scratching stickers off and things, you could peel off gel or color on the free edge. You don't want that. When you're doing, when you're picking up money and you go and you're paying for something, it's very difficult to pick up coins with your hands like this. You've got to kind of brush the money down into your other hand so that you don't look like an invalid either. So that's very, very important. And then also, if you do garden, remember to wear gloves, and I'll tell you why. There's a lot of organic organisms and things that are in soil, little bacterias and things like that, and that could get into your nails under the nail bed, and that could create a fungus or anything like that down the line. Also, the dirt and the mud gets into all the nail grooves and can create a problem with bacteria. So always wear rubber gloves when you are gardening. That is important. Always keep regular maintenance appointments. Never try to do home repairs on your nails, because if you try and do home repairs, you're going to unbalance the system that has just been applied to your nail by your nail technician. So it will become unbalanced and will create problems down the line. Teach your client to rather buff any lifting bits with the 220 file. So you could sell to a client a 220 grit file and just show them how they can use it if there's any lifting that they can do on their own at home to prevent further lifting. So that could be a good thing. Use acetone free nail polish remover if polish is used. So if you are using normal varnish, you don't want the nail to go yellow, then use an acetone free. And also the base coats and things like that on natural nails can make the natural nail go yellow. So very, very important to buff very lightly on a nail like that to remove some of that yellow color. Although when a nail is yellow, it means that nail is quite strong, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. All right. Nail enhancements are flammable and should be kept away from direct sources of heat. So if some of you guys are smokers and you're using a lighter and you've got a very long nail, you could burn the the tip of your nail if you're not careful. So always keep your hand to the side. That's for the smokers. Keep away from candles, ovens. Be careful when you're using an oven. Your nails are flammable, so be very, very careful. Never pick your extensions. So if you find that you've got a little piece that's kind of bugging you, just take your 220 grit file and literally just file that away, lightly away, so that it doesn't bug you anymore. And then make your appointment with your nail technician so that they can reschedule you, so that if there are any lifting bits, you can, or any bits that are irritating you, you can just run in. It will literally take 5 minutes. The nail tech can quickly fix it for you. I'm sure it's not a problem. Or if you don't have time, just take a file and just carefully file that away. Acrylic nails are popular for a host of reasons. They last a long time. They're hard to break, and they capture color brilliantly. On the other hand, acrylic nails can lift, split, cause nasty infections. Luckily, there are steps that you can take to make these acrylic nails last without breaking an arm and a leg and without infections. Okay, this is how you would do this. Is that you need to it's important to take a record of the treatment done with every single client. So I have customer cards. A client fills in a consultation card. I have a client profile card, and I have a consent form. So it's important to have those forms when you're doing your consultation, your first consultation, so that you have got a record. When you have done your treatment, you will then write in on the card the date, what treatment was done, and also you can put in there what you charge the client, so you could see what the client is spending every single month. Also very, very important is to have their birthdays. Put it into your calendar, let it come up every year so that you don't forget, and phone your clients and wish them a happy birthday, or offer them a nice little discount for being a loyal client. They could become a VIP client, where you will give them special discounts, make them feel like a VIP. Maybe they get an extra something on their appointments. Be creative and enjoy what you do. All right. If a client comes back and you do a full, but you find that she's got 2 nails that are broken, one that has got stress area that is cracked, you make a note on your card, because if she comes back again and something has happened, you can either see straight away, either you didn't fix it properly, or it was something that was done by her. So it's one way of gauging whether how that problem occurred and why, and you'll know exactly which finger, because you've documented which finger is your problem child, and you will then deal with that problem. A future treatment plan is recommended according to your client's needs. So some clients are harder on their hands than others. Some clients have got weaker nails than others. So it's very important in your consultation to determine what your client is going to want. So I'm going to give you some ideas on a client profiling. So let me make me bigger. When a client comes in, I normally give them a consult card like this. Um, so it's a consent form, and in this consent form, um, the client gives you consent to work on their nails. And then I've got a page that is a client profile form. So this is quite nice. I have put together sort of a questionnaire so that I can sort of determine what kind of service and what kind of client I'm going to be dealing with moving forward. So I have put a few things. How important is your time when having your nails done? So if you're a nail technician that takes a bit longer than normal because you're a perfectionist, um, you need to know if your client is happy for you to do so, or how important is the time for your client. So the other thing I put in is, what is the longest you will sit to have your nails done? Is this for hands and feet together or separately? So how long would you consider your appointment to be for hands and feet? What would be an acceptable time? How important is it for you to have a large variety of gel colors or nail polishes? Very important to ask your client that. Is the long-term condition of your nail very important to you? Are we trying to preserve the natural nail, or are you just happy to carry on with acrylics and keep nails on forever? Is the long-term condition of your nails important to you? What nail shape do you prefer? And what length do you prefer? Do you prefer nail polish or nail gel? Are you on a budget? So you could charge, let's say, if you go into a store and they've got premium products and they've got sort of middle of the range product, you could have a premium product and a middle of the range product. Just make sure that they're all HEMA free and all the 10 free. And so you could give your client, if they're on a budget, then you would choose a sort of on the medium side of the product. Do you like nail art? You ask your client. What beverage do you like to have when you have your nails done? Okay. Is it important to you how long your nails last? Is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you would like me to know? So, and then at the back, I have a card where I would write down all their appointments, the time, all their contact details, and I would have a nail analysis form, the skin condition, whether it's sun damaged, dehydrated, thin, or other. Cuticle condition, is it torn, infected? The nail condition, is it dry, brittle, or oily? Preferred nail shape. Products used, so it's important to know what products you use, because there's not the same product for everybody. Everybody's different. So we've all got different, we all need different things. So it's important to be able to analyze and make sure that you give the right product to the client, because that will determine your success. And whether they like French, natural, dark colors, light colors. You'll find sometimes clients some clients will stick to the same color all the time. Some will probably just have French. So it all depends on the actual client, all right? You would then obviously discuss with them the aftercare advice, and you can maybe sell her some recommended products, and then you need to do a treatment plan. For argument's sake, if she wants to grow out acrylic and she wants to change over to gel, you could do that on a gradual sort of way. So you would need to plan that. Keep in contact with your client to get feedback about the product and whether your client is still happy. So sometimes it's a good idea to send your clients a little WhatsApp. It was lovely seeing you today. I really enjoyed my session with you. I hope that you are happy with your nails. If there's anything that you are unhappy with, please let me know so that I can give you the best service and to keep you happy. So those, I hope, are a couple of things that hopefully help you when it comes to maintenance. So basically, the same technique would apply. You're just going to apply a small amount of product at the back, and you're going to buff, and a full isn't as long as a full set of nails, so it should be quite quick to do a full. It shouldn't take you too long. If there are any questions that any of you have, you can WhatsApp me. I can send you some more information. Just send me a comment in the comment box below, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Also, let me know what sort of videos you want me to do for you, and I hope this has helped you. And well done for getting to this module. And we've still got one more module to go in the acrylic training course, which will be troubleshooting. And if you want me to do more demos, please let me know, and I would gladly assist. Well, happy filing and enjoy doing your nails, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.